Yes.
Oh, is it on now?
Yes. Yeah.
Before I do any sort of introduction, can I be heard?
No.
Am I hearable right now? Nice. So, good evening, morning, night, or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the United Nations tournament, where we will be bringing to you more of the group stage. And I don't really have much time to do this introduction because we have gone live right now. So I'll introduce the teams after the first attack, but just for now, there's going to be a Hunter, Charger, Jockey, and a Spitter. Hunter in the bushes, looking to make something happen. Charger is shut down mid-path, and the Spitter unfortunately spits on the wrong target there. Jockey is going to be cleared from Coach, and that is all of the damage for them. So, in terms of the teams, it is simply going to be Hap versus Nectar. And as you can tell by the clan tags, HP, aka Hap, is going to be on Survivor side to begin with. Meanwhile, the Nectar squad are going to be on the infected side, and Smoker's going in immediately from the bush, but nicely cleared on the tongue there by the remaining survivors. Hunter is pouncing around, looking to cause some distraction. However, choosing against going in ultimately, their Charger doesn't actually have a spawn yet. Smoker moving in first, although the tongue actually goes for somebody directly behind everybody, so interesting. And also, another thing worth mentioning as well is that there isn't really much of a disparity in the pings. Most of these people are on pretty much the same ping. The highest ping here is Nick, aka Good, who is on 91. On average, most people are around about between 78 and 87, give or take. Spitter, Charger, Jockey, and a Hunter is going to be the setup for the upcoming bridge attack here. Tank at 54%, so he's going to be a little bit further away. Survivor's only at 32% as we speak. Yeah, indeed, $150 cash prize. Charger, Jockey, and a Hunter. Charger moving in from behind, missing the charge, unfortunately for him, on Nick there. Hunter is moving in. They're going to get a Hunt Spit combination regardless, though. That's actually double Spit damage as well. That's going to be Death Spit and actual Spit, so well played by the Spitter Hunter there to get that damage. 10 seconds in total on the clock for the Special Infected. Going to be continuing to move over the rooftop here. They have just about triggered the tank as we speak. Smash 322, Matt, Good, and Yuzi are going to be on the Survivor side here. Smoker from behind is going to get a pull, and the Charger unfortunately can't make much happen from it. Does get 2 scratches onto Nick, 2 in total. Tank is going to be looking to move the car in there. That's in an interesting position. I'm not sure how ideal that is for the tank, really. There is another car more so in the open area there. So welcome everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. It appears we do need to limit the slots here, although these people are being quite helpful actually. Hunter is moving in, gets nicely shut down. No rocks have actually landed, but the Special Infected have done some damage here. So, like I say, welcome everybody to this installment of the United Nations tournament. Tank is just continuing to throw some rocks here from the distance. Not really much happened from it just yet. And if anybody is unaware, my name is Haraldsson, by the way. I'm going to be bringing to you the commentary for this particular match. And if you were here before, you will have heard my commentary on the previous match as well, which was a 2-part segment. Rock's continuing to trail in, but not a heck of a lot of luck happening so far. Charger moves in, actually, gets a charge from the billboard onto one survivor, just connecting with the wall. That's going to be significant damage in total on Coach. And Tank, to be honest, actually, is also maintaining line of sight relatively well. Although, as I say that, he's going down to pass number 2, so that's obviously the caster's curse speaking there. Tank has 2 cars here to work with. He has the police car and he also has just the regular car. And this hit's going to determine everything. Although it bounces off the billboard, he's not really having much luck with the cars. He is going to have to reposition here. In he moves. Going to be looking for the first survivor. Smoker is going to try to set up the first punch here, and he is completely stuck underneath the billboard there. Jockey landing temporarily. Boomer going to land onto one survivor as well. Tank, hopefully for him, can pin Coach. However, he gets duped 2 times and will be meeting his demise there. Very well played by Coach to get those 2 jukes in. Very well played indeed. And they move onwards and upwards, going to be moving through this this little motel area here at 50% of the map, which is gradually climbing. Hunter, Charger, Spitter, and a Smoker. So they have a tri-cap. Tri-cap completed with a Spitter. Smoker is looking to go from behind, or below, excuse me, as well as the Hunter. Charger and Spitter going in the same location on the higher ground. Charger just waiting behind the door frame there. He can actually spawn behind that, which he does choose to do so. He can't get the connection though. Hunter is moving in, trying to pin Rochelle in the spit. Doesn't quite make it happen though. Still going to pin her regardless, with the help of a common infected actually. And when you do pin somebody in the common infected, it does a lot of damage. You know, it's not negligible damage whatsoever. 7 seconds is the highest spawn timer here. Boomer and a jockey up so far. Boomer is going to rocket down and actually gets popped in the face of Nick, so that's going to be a 1-person boom. Charger, Jockey and Spitter going to be looking to attack with it. Jockey is dead stopped, providing some distraction for the Charger, who gets a scratch but not a charge. Still getting another scratch actually. However, that is all she wrote, and survivors are going to continue here. They don't have to worry about any spawns. A Smoker just spawned up actually, however he is below, so he's not going to be too problematic. Survivors all looking to drop down in unison here, which they do indeed do so. Jockey, Smoker and a Hunter with a Boomer. Of which is going to be the setup they have to use here. By the way the Hunter is spawned, it's looking like they're going to attack pretty soon, actually. Hunter is pouncing around here, causing some distraction. Smoker first, onto Coach. They're going to try to intercept that, but he's cleared so quickly. Hunter moves in, can't get the damage pounce. However, that's a good dual cap, and the Jockey is going to try to intercept as well. Boomer's moving in for Nick, getting several scratches onto him. Eventually dead stopped and killed. All of the spawns are currently down here, and the survivors have a pretty significant grace period here to make it, well, not so much to the safe room. They will have to deal with another attack before they enter the safe room. However, it is probably the last attack they're going to have to deal with, providing, of course, they do shut it down. And that attack, specifically, is going to be a Jockey, Hunter, and Charger. Hunter is pouncing around behind, looking to try to slow down the survivors a little bit here. Charger is behind the Humvee, going to be spawning up with the Jockey, both of them moving in. Charger and Jockey both shut down, though. Hunter is moving in a little bit after everybody, and is actually melee skeeted by Lancini. Speaking of, that's Jensen, Lancini, Ainu, and Desade. So that would be the roster for the Special Infected. Well, for now anyway. They're going to move now onto the Survivor side, and we're going to go on to the second half of the first chapter of Dark Carnival. What was that? I want audible gulps. Honestly, the microphone picks up literally the car driving 3 streets away, so I'm pretty sure that would be audible if I did do that, considering how much this damn thing picks up. Pardon? Fans want Krycha to explode like a boomer. Questionable. I'm not gonna question that. So waiting on just one more player, and we shall be going live here in this particular installment. Of course, this being Hap versus Nectar. Tank is going to be at 54%, same as always. You know, going to be same for both teams, so it's a little bit further away. Hunter, Jockey, and a Charger is the tri-cap, and it is completed with a Spitter. Going to be dependent on either the Hunter or the Charger, really, to land here, because they want to make that Spitter count. Charger spawning up behind with the Jockey, Hunter spawning and pouncing around as well. Gets so nicely shut down, though. Very good focus fire coming out of the survivors here. That is absolutely perfect. I mean, they did take... Well, Nick took a bit of damage, so not quite perfect. But my goodness, that was very fast, very vicious clears there. Very well played. Going to be continuing to move forward here. They're going to be on this downward sloping road. Smoker, Jockey, and a Hunter is the tri-cap. Boomer is trying the rocket boom with bunny hops. He can't quite get it, though. He will be shut down in 0.8 seconds. Points currently 868 to Hap and 111 as we speak to Nectar, but they are currently on Survivor, so they're going to continue to move that upward. 31% currently traversed. They don't. Well, they do actually have a Charger now, so they have a Smoker, Jockey, Charger, and a Hunter, which is in fact a quad cap. Let's see if they can pull this off, though. This is a pretty good place for a quad cap, I must say, as well, with the high ground advantage and the fact that you can go from either front or back. Hunter is crouching around. He's creating a lot of unsettling noise here. In moves the Charger, but the Charger so efficiently shut down there. That is such fast focus fire, and Smoker's going to move in, but he's shut down as well as the Jockey. Well, I have to say, these guys, I mean, so far, showing themselves to be pretty darn good on the Survivor side. A little bit more of this, and they could be looking at a good health bonus, but of course I'm not going to speak too soon, because they have yet to kill this tank. Tank being in the hands of Yuzi. Hunter, Smoker, and a Boomer is what he has to support him as well. Tank moving that first car in. It's going to be positioned on the rooftop there, but I mean, right below the billboard though. Boomer goes from below, but he's a bit too far away to land that boom, so he does get popped. Tank is now looking to move in the little police car here, or not police car, cab, excuse me. Looking for a hit on this this particular hit here. Is going to get it onto the, well, pretty much on top of the other car, so they're both in the same place. What he can make happen with them is well, we're going to have to see, really. Hunter, Smoker, and a Jockey is his supporting setup. Tank is moving the cab in first and foremost, followed by the other car. They're not in the worst positions, really, especially that cab. Although, yeah, it's fallen down the hill now, actually, so probably not the wisest decision to go for it. Instead, he's going to have to chase behind the survivors. Smoker tries to get the pull onto Ellis there, didn't quite manage it, though. The car is on the roof, though, and unfortunately hitting off of those objects on the rooftop. He can't quite get the hit right on this car, actually, and Jockey is the last remaining infected to move in. Does land onto Rochelle, actually, on the other side of the bus. That is going to be some damage. And the tank is going to move the car in, but it doesn't land onto anybody. He's going to be chasing down Coach here, but he's on 3,000 HP, and that is continuing to decline as well, very rapidly, actually. Charger moves in as well as the Boomer. That's going to be a charge onto Ellis there, followed by several punches. He's probably going to be in-capped here, actually. Then again, they do actually focus the tank down just in time, and he is actually not in-capped. 38% of the tank damage actually inflicted by Lancini there. Survivor's going to be continuing to make their way along. They have taken a little bit of damage, but not too much, really. They're not going to be too demoralized by that, let's say. Going to be a hunter and a jockey working with a boomer and a spitter. Jockey is now spawned up above the survivors. Hunter is pouncing in as well. A little bit late, actually. However, the jockey is still going as well as the hunter. That's going to be a get-up animation in the spit. Ouch, that is painful. That is a very well synchronized, well played attack by the special infected. However, nobody is actually slow on the survivors, so they can still move at the maximal movement speed. It's only until you fall below 40 HP that you start to suffer the movement speed penalty. Charger is moving in, getting a nice double charge in the back there. However, they do clear the Charger mid-path, which is a good rectification there. Jockey and, well, Smoker and Boomer are all going to be shut down with pretty darn good ease. Onwards and upwards for the survivors, literally upwards as they move up this this sloped hill. Going to be moving up to the road here, which is pretty much where the safe room is. So they have maybe 1 or 2 more attacks, depending on how well they shut them down. Hunter behind the alarm car, hoping to make them trigger the alarm car, basically. That's his thinking process here. However, they are not triggering that alarm car. Hunter is going to be pouncing in, as well as the jockey and Charger from behind, but both of them are shut down, although not after the Charger gets 1 punch. However, that is all she wrote, and, well, the survivors actually haven't suffered a single in-cap in this round, and they are actually going to be making it into the safe room as well. And in they go, and it appears we have a pretty close game on our hands here. They actually did well enough to take the lead as well. So 936 points in the hands of Team Nectar, and 868 points in the hands of Hap. As we move on to chapter number 2, the fairground. Let's just see how this goes, though, because at this moment in time, it is pretty much anybody's game, especially with the lack of ping disparity as well. The thing is with international tournaments is that sometimes it can be quite problematic, really, with the ping differences. Like, some people are not really used to playing on high pings, and it can be a disadvantage. But in terms of this match, there is complete balance in terms of the pings. There's not really any difference. Just waiting on Team Nectar to ready up here, and we shall be going live. It looks like they do have a Charger and a Boomer with a Smoker and a Jockey, so honestly, I mean, I personally, I say this a lot, but I prefer a Boomer Spitter in this particular choke point. However, this is still good, you know, they can still make something happen with it. In a completely textbook perfect scenario, they're probably going to be hoping for a double charge with the Smoker and Jockey pinning the remaining 2 survivors. But of course, that is idealistic, and we're going to have to see how it actually plays out. They are shooting those bins there, because although no infected are behind them, it is possible to spawn behind them. In moves the Boomer first and foremost onto 2 survivors, Jockey and Charger moving in. That's a triple charge, but cleared mid-path anyway. That's going to be the Jockey and Smoker moving in as well for some extra damage. And outwards they move, going to be moving further forward on the Fairground chapter of Dark Carnival. Hunter and a Spitter up so far, followed by a Boomer and a Charger. So they have a 2-2 here, which probably I would have preferred this attack at the safe room. Rocket Boom gets a boom onto 2 survivors, actually. That was quite impressive. Hunter is moving in with the Charger. Charger can't make a connection, though. They're very good at clearing charges, actually, I have to say. They still take some damage from the Spit, thanks to the Boomer. However, Tank is now going to spawn in the hands of Smash 322. Instantly going to be looking for the dumpster here, which, well, that's lucky, actually. Just flattens itself straight on the rooftop, so he's going to be hitting that into play. Off of the skybox and into the little hedged off area there on the elevator platform. Boomer lands onto 1. That could be the start of something. Let's just see what the Tank makes of it, though. Going to be moving in this forklift as well, so I think he's going to prefer the forklift over the dumpster, really. In moves the forklift. That's interesting. Yeah, that's in play. What he can make happen with it is in question, though. 97% of his health, 55% of pass number 1. Yeah, he's actually instructing his team to hit there, so they are going to do so. Rock is travelling in, doesn't end up hitting anybody, unfortunately. Hunter lands for a brief period. Jockey is still distracting the survivors. However, that is all she wrote for the special infected attack. Tank is going to be safely repositioning back onto the rooftop. He is on 90% of pass number 2, though. Going to be looking to move this dumpster in now, actually. He is in the right position to do so. Survivor's actually moving back to the safe room, which is interesting. If he gets that dumpster in play, there's not really many things they can do to dodge it. However, speaking of in play, that's completely out of play. Not able to make that happen. Smoker's going to set up the first few punches, or at least the first punch. She is actually fast, so she is going to dodge that. Boomer is unsuccessful. Charger moving in for Rochelle, the last remaining special infected. Can't quite make anything happen. Does get a stumble onto Coach, but the tank is not able to capitalize on it. That will be an in-cap, however, that's the only thing the tank is going to manage here. He will be shortly falling to the survivors.
I need you for a little longer, so let's get you back on your feet.
So in terms of the damage they have taken, it is mostly on Rochelle and Ellis, respectively. Hunter, Spitter, and a Jockey, followed by, in 1 second, a Boomer. So they have a 2-2 here. Hunter and a Jockey, specifically with the 2-2, working with that Boomer and Spitter. And it does look like that Hunter's actually going for a Skybox pounce as well, although he needs to be quick with it if he wants to land it. Team Nectar looking pretty comfortable here. They are dealing with a Boomer. They get boomed by one. One person is boomed. Spitter is moving in, and the Jockey is taking him into that spit, actually. He actually nearly goes down there. I mean, I wonder if they're better off in-capping Rochelle and then having her take her pain pills. Although she does choose to take her pain pills, but I actually wonder if it would have been slightly better and more efficient to actually in-cap her there. Nonetheless, they have suffered a total of 1 in-cap, and Rochelle is sort of suffering a pseudo-in-cap. She's nearly full permanent temporary HP, despite the fact that she hasn't been in-capped. Boomer from behind gets popped. Hunter is moving in, getting a pounce onto Coach, however he is the only other special infected that did attack there. Smoker and Charger is the remainder of their attack, and they will have to be waiting a total of 10 seconds before the remainder of their attack is up.
Ready?
Survivors will be making their way through the corridor here, and not suffering an attack in the process as well. Smoker, Charger, and a Jockey is the tri-cap, and it is completed with a Spitter, of whom is going to immediately spit onto the ladder there and delay the survivors a little bit more. Smoker is positioned in a way to set up a charge for the Charger, because if he charges them down, then again, though, the Smoker did go a little bit too early there. Spit is going to be moving in. Charger is getting a double charge, however, the Spitter is below, not above. That is going to be an in-cap onto Rochelle. Smoker moving in, however, unable to make a connection there, so that is 2 in-caps in total that they have suffered. Still looking in reasonable health, though. Smoker is unable to make much happen. He will be focus fired by the Uzis. Boomer from below on the ladder. He actually is... he's shoved off the ladder there. That's very rude by the survivors. Boomer's going to be moving in with the Hunter, though. Actually, one-shot skeet by Desade there, aka Rochelle, as well as the Boomer shutdown. So very well played specifically by Rochelle there. Spitter and a Jockey is what we have to look at so far. 5 seconds remaining for the remainder of the special infected. Jockey, Charger, and a Smoker with the Spitter. Survivors looking like they want to drop down here, which they do so with relative ease. Charger moving in with the Smoker. He's completely shut down, though. Spitter is moving in with the Jockey. The Jockey is trying to get Coach back in the spit. Can't quite do so, but still does some damage regardless. And it is now onwards and upwards for the survivors. They do have ammunition replenishment just there that they have used. And they will be running through this crescendo here, which is not far away from the safe room. So they haven't got long to go. They are on 85% of the map, and they have 15% more remaining. Boomer and a Spitter with the Charger and Hunter. Boomer first, gets dead stop, but shot it down regardless, actually, in Ellis's face. Hunter moves in, lands the connection onto Coach, and Charger is immediately following. Can't really make anything happen, though he's a bit too far away there. And that is all she wrote for the Special Infected. They are looking to continue progressing forward here. 60 common infected remaining in this pretty relentless crescendo. Jockey and a Smoker, which I presume are going to be going in pretty soon, actually. They are quite outside the safe room. Smoker first, can't make the connection though. Jockey is going to land, followed by the Hunter, who's looking for Ellis here, who's a bit separated. However, gets so nicely shut down there again by Rochelle, aka Deciday. This time a 3-shot skeet, but still a skeet regardless. Very strong survivor gameplay and infected gameplay all in one coming out of this round here. Survivors make it into the safe room. I wouldn't say comfortably, because that was not comfortable at all, but they still played very well to make it in and award themselves 51 multiplied by 4 total bonus points. 1,640 specifically is what they have to rest on here. Team Nectar. Team Hap are now going to be playing their half of the survivor round of this particular chapter. And of course they do have the same setup as always, which is going to be the Charger, Jockey, Smoker, and Boomer. Rochelle moves out first, just simply to try to bait the survivors, the Special Infected. She's not going to bait her own team. Boomer moves in. Oh wow, that was very well positioned by the survivors to dodge that. Jockey moves in and gets an interception actually, and the Charger was going to land outside, followed by not so. Oh, I thought it was going to be a pummel actually. Very well cleared. All in all, a decent shutdown, and the survivors will continue to move forward. They do have this tank coming up as well. They're obviously going to hope to deal with it in similar fashion to their predecessors. Survivors now at 15% of the map. Hunter is just pouncing around, causing some distraction. Going to be a Jockey and a Hunter, of which is the 2-2. Boomer is going to be moving in, landing the boom onto 2 survivors. Hunter damage pounce isn't quite successful. Neither is the Hunt Spit combination, actually, and Coach is briefly taken away by a Jockey. But that is very swiftly dealt with. Survivors don't have too long to go before they end up triggering this tank. Which indeed it does actually trigger right this second. Smoker, Charger, and a Boomer in the hands of the Special Infected, as a news tank is going to be looking for these dumpsters. First dumpster off the skybox and going to be into this little secluded area. Boom onto 1 survivor, Smoker moving in as well from the rooftop. Going to be shut down pretty quickly. Charger moves in as well. Actually gets the charge onto Ellis, surprisingly. Going to be cleared shortly after it. Dumpster moves into play as well. That's directly where they are. I mean, maybe not the best position for it to be in, though, I have to say, because it's kind of trapped inside that little structure there. Survivors are very much aware of where this tank currently is. Continuing to throw these rocks onto them. Hunter, Jockey, and a Boomer in the hands of the Special Infected. Let's see how effective it is, though. The Boomer is going to be crucial in this tank fight. In moves the tank with his dumpster. Can't quite make anything happen just yet. He's still trying his luck, though. Boomer onto 3 survivors. That is crucial. That is devastating. Let's just see how devastating it turns out to be, though. Tank is landing several punches onto Nick here, actually. That's going to be an instant in-cap onto Nick. 2,000 HP all the way down to 1,000. He's going to be dead pretty soon. Special Infected moving in. Jockey landing onto the non-boom survivor. 4 damage pounce onto Ellis, excuse me. Both of them being cleared, though. Tank is looking for this dumpster onto Nick, although it's not really playing ball, and I have to say it's not going to in that particular structure there. So overall, that actually wasn't looking good for the survivors at all, but they still pulled it back and still survived, so well played to them. Team Hap are going to be continuing their progression with as much as 1 in-cap suffered so far. Smoker spawning up with the Charger. Charger moving in through everybody, though. He can't land anything there. And Boomer's going to get a boom onto 1. Spitter is unsuccessful, and that is simply the remainder of the attack done. Smoker moving back for the respawn there. 7 seconds in total.
If I go, you guys are gonna miss me.
For the Special Infected. Going to be a quad cap, actually. That's interesting. Let's see if they can land this. That could really turn this game on its behind if they end up landing it. Hunter, Smoker, Jockey, and Charger. Hunter is pouncing around behind the survivors. Looking like it's going to go for the respawn there, actually, which he does indeed do so. Jockey is spawned up above the survivors, and in everybody moves. Charger from behind gets the connection, actually. That's going to be a Hunter landing. Jockey is cleared, though. That's going to be several pummels from the Charger, though. He is in the distance, and he could even get an in-cap here at this rate. He does end up getting cleared in time, thankfully for them. However, that was a good Charger. Overall, a good attack, actually, despite the fact that the quad cap did not land. Only a Smoker to speak of so far. Smoker, Boomer, and a Spitter, so they do have a 2-2 here. And that 2-2 being comprised of the Smoker and Jockey in terms of the cappers. Boomer positioned quite traditionally, actually, on the rooftop, just behind the survivors as they climb up the ladder. And he is indeed going to be going from there, getting a boom onto 2 survivors. Jockey and Smoker both moving in. Jockey is dead stopped and slapped in the face with a guitar, though. And Spitter is not having any more luck, really. Smoker's also going to be shut down very efficiently. Survivors do have 2 people slightly low, but, you know, they can afford to take their pain pills, really. They don't need to worry about going slow. Which, indeed, they do so. They take their pain pills. Going to be a Charger, Jockey, and a Hunter with the Spitter, so it's a tri-cap with the Spitter. Hunter is pre-spawned silently behind the corner in front of the survivors, looking to catch the first unsuspecting human. Charger is inside the building, going to be repositioning actually to where the Hunter is. Ellis on the railing here, just clearing some common infected before the survivors progress forward. Yeah, as we see, the Hunter and the Charger are both in that closed area, with the Spitter as well, actually. Charger is going to be moving in, jumping down onto the survivors, getting a scratch charge. However, the Spitter is a little bit miscommunicated, really, with the Charger. That was a successful scratch charge, however, the Spitter didn't quite realise he was going to land there. Onwards and upwards for the survivors. They don't have much more of the map to traverse. They are at 85%, and the safe room is not too far away. 2 people on permanent HP, which they want to preserve, and the Special Infected want to eliminate. And, well, they're going to be making it pretty well if they do shut everything down like that. That Boomer just meeting his demise immediately after spawning. Whether or not he becomes a Spitter or a Jockey to complete the quad cap is in question, and we're going to have to see what it ends up being. Ends up being a Spitter, so it is not a quad cap. However, it is a Spitter in a closed area, which the survivors are choosing to take the Horde inside. Charger and Hunter both moving in. Hunter and Spitter combination isn't quite successful, actually. The Spitter can't quite get the angle right through that window frame. That is all she wrote for the remainder of the Special Infected. Survivors in pretty good health, to be honest. They're going to be making their way forward here. They obviously want to keep the health of Rochelle and Coach, those two being the predominant source of their health bonus. Boomer from behind the hedge there. Jockey landing onto Nick, actually, that's bad news for them. However, they do very nice with the clears. Charger is getting several scratches. And the survivors are just about to make it into the safe room here with their health bonus. And again, they've taken the lead back. So, I mean, to begin with, it was Nectar in the lead. But now it is Hap in the lead. 1,704 points in the hands of Team Hap. 1,640 in the hands of Nectar. Very interesting game so far, actually. There's not much of a point difference here at all. There's 64 exactly, so 64 points separating these two teams, and at the moment it really is anybody's game because these guys have gone through two comeback phases, really. And in terms of being able to predict anything, absolutely nothing. I couldn't tell you a single thing. Oh yeah, that's a good, that's a success. Caster HUD works. Oh, but then... So the caster HUD crashes and then the game crashes immediately after. That is the worst luck. That is an F in the chat moment, if ever I saw one. I mean, so far we're waiting on two more players from Hap to ready up, so got a little bit of time. But yes, we are now moving on to the most interesting chapter of Dark Carnival, that being the map with the love tunnel and the roller coaster. That's such a shame. Oh, that's F in the chats. Moments there. Ouch. Just waiting on one more player to ready up here, and we shall be going live. In this match, which is separated by a mere insignificant 64 points. I do appear to be disconnecting from the Twitch chat a lot, actually, weirdly. Keeps reconnecting me, so I'm only seeing a few messages. Going to be a Lancini tank moving into this chapter. Boomer is nicely dead stopped and shut down there. That's exactly what Team Hap are going to be looking for here as they take the lead back from the people who previously took their lead. Jockey, Hunter, and a Spitter. Not really the best setup, to be honest. They are going to want to wait for their fourth spawn here, which is going to be a Smoker. No Charger, actually, which I'm sure they were hoping for. Looking like the Smoker's going to be going from behind, whereas the Hunter and Spitter are going to go from in front. Hunter is moving in, trying to land a pounce here. Can't quite land anything just yet, and unfortunately, the time it took meant that the Spitter ended up dying before she could combine with the Hunter. Total of 7 points on the board for Team Nectar. As Team Hap continue to make their way forward, they're going to be moving into the Swan Maintenance Room of Love. Don't know why I like saying that, I just do for some reason. It's going to be a Boomer and a Spitter with a Smoker and a Charger. So it is actually a 2-2 here, heading into this closed area. Yeah, Hap are winning, but just barely. You know, the comeback has happened in favour of both teams so far. So let's see what they can happen, what they can make happen with this Charger. And in he moves. Can't quite get the connection though, and well, I mean, he gets chip leveled. Boomer does land onto 2, but not really much can happen from it. Tank is going to be spawning in the hands of Lancini, and he's going to be making his way forward. Charger, Hunter, and a Jockey is going to be the supporting tri-cap for the tank. They don't actually have to stick with this though. And indeed they're not going to, which I do agree with. They are going to get rid of the Hunter and the Charger. Which, yeah, I can see why they would do that. I can absolutely see why. Tank just continuing to try to get some curve rocks. So far, only a Jockey. However, it's looking like it's probably going to be a Smoker and a Boomer, really. Yeah, indeed, it is exactly a Smoker and a Boomer with the Jockey. In moves the tank. Lancini tank going to be making his way in. Smoker's looking to set something up. Does end up pulling Coach there. Very nicely done by the Smoker. That's going to be one punch onto him. Not more to follow, though. Until now, which he gets another punch onto Coach. However, the Boomer is not successful, and well, the Smoker did set up some punches. That's all she wrote for him, though. Not able to land any more punches, and that is actually a very good result for
I miss my
for Team
caster
Hap.
HUD.
Clearing that tank with relative ease as they make their way forward. Charger, Hunter, and a Spitter in the hands of the Special Infected, followed by a Smoker. In moves the Charger first and foremost. Actually, charges Rochelle down, which is interesting. They can't quite pin anybody above. However, several pummels are landing onto Rochelle. Survivors will continue to make their way forward here. And I'm actually proud of myself, you know, because I did not mistake dumpsters and forklifts last round, so I think my curse has been alleviated. Jockey, Hunter with the Spitter and the Boomer, so it is a 2-2. Hunter pouncing around, Jockey going to be moving in as well. Boomer's a bit too far away though. Hunter moving in for a damage pounce, can't quite get it, nor can he get the Hunt Spit combination. That is going to be the end of the Special Infected attack, and survivors will continue their way forward up to the roller coaster crescendo. And in terms of the roller coaster crescendo, it's a difficult one. So let's just see if they can make it through it. They do have another 2-2 though. They have a Boomer and a Spitter with a Smoker and a Charger. The Smoker is the only real distraction that the Charger actually has to work with. They have sacked the Spitter though, and by the way the survivors are positioned, it is actually looking like they're going to get that third capper here. It's either going to be a Hunter or a Jockey, either way. Coming up in 1 second, it is going to be a Hunter. Maybe a Jockey is slightly more favourable here, but the Hunter can still make stuff happen. Survivors do need to be careful as well, because Coach is actually limping, and you know he's going to need to take his pain pills now. Hunter going in for the damage pounce, he can't quite get it though. However, he doesn't seem to be troubled too much by that. Boomer moving in actually by Bunny Hop. He gets a boom onto 2 survivors. Well played. Hunter just barely misses a damage pounce there actually. That could have been good. Actually, the survivors still haven't made any ground yet. They haven't actually began to traverse through the crescendo here. Smoker, Charger, and a Jockey, followed by a Spitter. Smoker positioned quite traditionally. Actually, he's going to be positioned in the bushes there. Spitter looking to get rid of that life because she probably wants a capper. Actually, that being a Hunter. So. Smoker, Charger, and a Jockey, and it will be completed in 10 seconds. Survivors still continuing to take the horde below. They haven't actually chosen to run through the event yet, which is one of the first times I've actually ever seen this happen. Boomer from above, going to be getting the boom. Wasn't actually a Hunter after all, so that's obviously a bit of a slip-up. Jockey and Smoker, both of which positioned above the survivors on the rooftop. The Charger moving in as well, going to be looking for Nick, however he's focus fired into oblivion there, as well as the remainder of the attack actually. So all in all, it is actually working for them so far, this particular strategy they are adopting to use. Hunter is going to be waiting above, looking for that damage bounce, gets a 14 damage bounce onto Ellis there. Going to be at least something. Spitter looks to delay the survivors, which she does indeed do so, actually. Boomer from behind the billboard there, getting a boom onto one survivor. Only a Charger to speak of here. Smoker and a Charger is what they have to work with here. Charger above the survivors on the track. Smoker's going to be pulling first and foremost, and that's actually fall damage going to be inflicted onto Nick there. Well played by the Smoker. Hunter is pouncing around to try to slow down the survivors. He is actually going to be focus fired down though. Charger moving in, getting a charge as well as a double charge actually, taking that survivor all the way back and incapacitating him. Jockey and Smoker both landing in unison. That's going to be 2 in-caps, 2 people standing. That is absolutely phenomenal. That's exactly what Team Nectar were hoping for there. Very, very well played. Absolutely unbelievably good attack there. Double charge, Smoker and Jockey landing. I mean, the Smoker is going to end his life there, unfortunately. But still, Spitter is going to look for the delay, which he does actually end up getting. Boomer is shut down, mind you, and shut down very easily at that. So their health bonus was looking pretty good. However, not so much anymore. At least in terms of the advantage that they have is that they have cleared the Horde, and that is going to work in their favour. It is a quad cap actually, a Jockey, Hunter, Charger and Smoker. Jockey spawned up first, Hunter second. Charger third, and in they move. Charger is going to land, but Hunter is skeeted in one shot by Matt there. Jockey moving in, looking to make a connection, as is the Smoker, making something happen. Not a heck of a lot though. Smoker is going to be looking for the respawn, and everybody else is just looking to simply get their spawns, because they're currently on the death timer. Already it's going to be a Boomer and a Spitter with the Hunter and Smoker. Boomer from below the survivors getting a boom onto one. Spitter is going to delay the survivors as well successfully. The only health bonus they currently have is Ellis. Ellis being in possession of 34 permanent HP. Smoker from below, going to be pulling Coach there. However, the Hunter ends up stealing that target. And that's going to lead to the death of the Smoker as well, so a little bit of miscommunication coming out of that side. I mean, they've got a Charger to deal with, who actually ends up separating Coach there, and getting a pummel as well. He nearly goes down there. They're going to have to wait for little old Coach to make his way back to his friends. He has this whole tunnel to go through as well. Boomer from below onto one survivor. Coach is just being left behind at this rate, really. Hunter is looking to pounce onto the 3 ahead survivors as well as the Jockey. Jockey, Hunter, and well, I mean, the Jockey ends up getting cleared. Smoker and Hunter both land in unison, awarding themselves an in-cap each. However, it wasn't quite a tri-cap there, which would have been absolutely devastating if it ended up being a tri-cap. Smoker and a Spitter up so far. Smoker is unfortunately, well, that's very good positioning by Rochelle actually with the katana, cutting the tongue there. I mean, Coach is just limping his ass off there. He does end up getting towards the survivors, however, he ends up getting in-capped on the ramp though. So unfortunately for him, he's not going to be reunited with his team. And there we have it, survivors making it into the safe room, with the only survivors being Rochelle, Nick, and Ellis. Hunter is going to accelerate the process by eliminating Coach outside there, so we are going to get to the end of the chapter here. However, 6 multiplied by 3 is all they have to speak of here. 2,315 points in total awarded to Team Hap here at the end of Chapter 3. And we are now going to be moving on to the second half of Chapter number 3. Team Nectar now having their chance to play on Survivor, and Team Hap having their chance to play on Infected. Boomer already popped straight outside the safe room there. Very well played by them. They're going to be actually looking to rush here as well. They want to cover as much ground as they possibly can. Very aggressive gameplay, which I quite like to see, actually. Hunter and a jockey with the spitter, followed by a pause. So we do have a pause for the time being. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful night, morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. My name, as always, is Haraldsson, and I'm bringing you the current commentary. And that's all I had to say, because we are going back to live. The final spawn is going to end up being a smoker. So it's not going to be a charger. It is going to be a hunter, jockey, and smoker tri-cap with the spitter. Jockey moves in with the hunter, both of which moving in. However, the hunter and jockey are both so effortlessly shut down, as is the smoker, but he can't really make much happen when his friends die like that. So, overall, very well played. Team Nectar are going to continue to make their way forward here. Going to be getting into the Swan Maintenance Room of Love, which is going to be where they fight the tank as well. So, let's just see how they end up playing this. In the meantime, though, it's going to be a jockey, hunter, charger moving in. Boomer's going to be moving in as well, getting a triple boom, actually. Charger moves in, getting a charge as well as a hunter to victim. However, no pummels and very little scratching from the hunter as well. So, even though it was a decent attack, not much damage happened. And we do have a crash on this side of Team Hap as well. So, a little bit more downtime as we wait for the return of Yuzi. FYI, we do actually have another game straight after this one as well. So it will be the last game for tonight, but we do have another one coming up in, I want to say approximately 20 minutes, but that does depend on the duration of this game, of course. I mean, we do have the this half of Chapter 3, and we do have Chapter 4 to get through as well, so just gonna have to see how it ends up playing out, because at the moment I don't really know who's gonna win this, but in terms of Team Nectar, they do have to worry about this upcoming tank fight. I mean, that isn't really the only thing they have to worry about as well, now that I think of it, because they also have the remainder of the Tunnel of Love, plus the tank fight, plus the crescendo, the roller coaster crescendo. So they have a lot to get through here, and we are going live as Yuzi makes the return. Every single special infected right now are on the death timer. Going to be having some both survivors actually missing the trick jump there. Nick going to be completing it. Boomer from behind, so effortlessly shot down by Ellis there, actually. They don't have a Boomer to worry about for the time being. Smoker from behind, looking to get a pull. Jockey second, lands onto Ellis. Not Ellis, that is definitely not Ellis, that is Coach. However, he is dead stopped off and shut down very easily. Survivor's going to be taking this tank fight in the same place as always. It's rare that people want to run the whole way back to the safe room. People generally don't want to do that. Charger from below, not really for any reason other than just simply to... Oh my goodness, speaking of nothing really, but that was a very good curve rock by the good tank there. That was a very good curve rock, actually. Landing into the face of Rochelle, so that is very well played. Boomer from below onto one survivor, that being Coach. That is going to allow the tank to more than likely move in here. Let's just see if he does choose to do so. And he indeed does so. Looking for Coach on the low ground there. Misses the first punch though. Still looking for Coach and he can't quite get him. It's a wild goose chase here. Smoker allows him to land the first and second punch, followed by third. Guaranteed that's going to be Coach in caps there. However, the remaining survivors continue to stand. Curve rock around the corner. Does land onto Ellis. Very nice curve rocks coming out of this good tank. Misses a punch on Nick, unfortunately, and does end up losing his life. However, that is a total of 1 incapacitation.
I apologize.
And it's looking okay for both teams, really, all things considered. Going to be a charger and a spitter, and that's all we have to talk about so far. 5 seconds remaining for the remainder. However, Charger's moving straight in with the spitter, which is questionable because Chargers by themselves can't usually make much happen. Hunter is moving in for Coach, as he is indeed separated. However, he gets pistol shotted straight in the face. Survivors continuing their progression. Ellis is a little bit behind, but not too much to worry about. Jockey, Smoker, and a Charger, followed by, in 1 second, a Spitter. Charger is moving in from behind in the closed area, going to be combining with the Spitter. However, the Spitter doesn't actually manage to make anything happen there. And there we have it. That is the end of the special infected attack, and the survivors aren't even going to consider going into the house there. Which, well, there's no paintballs in there anyway, so there's not really much of a need to do so. Going to be a Boomer, Hunter, Charger, and Spitter. So it's going to be a 2-2. No Smoker and no Jockey. That could be disadvantageous, really. Boomer onto 2 survivors, though. That's a decent result. Charger, Spitter, and a Hunter is what they have to work with here. All of which are positioned above the survivors on the track. They do appear to be sending Coach up first here, well, Coach and Rochelle. Spitter is going to look to delay the survivors, which is successful. Going to be a Charger, Jockey, and a Hunter, which is a decent setup, really. You prefer a Smoker, but overall it's not too bad. Jockey moves in first. He does get dead stopped and shut down, though. Hunter moving in for the damage pounce. Can't quite get it, however, the Charger is shut down mid-path. Very well played by the survivors there. That could have been an in-cap otherwise. Hunter landing on Ellis in the back. Not going to be too troubled by it, though. Smoker onto Ellis, however, very nicely shut down by Nick there. Boomer on the billboard, getting a boom onto 1 survivor. Smoker is going to separate Coach, though. Very well played by separating the guy ahead. He's going to have to go all the way back round now. Spitter is trying to delay him, but can't quite do so. Jockey is going to move for Coach there, getting dead stopped, however. Looking for the connection, but again gets dead stopped and therefore shut down. It was a good Smoker separation, but it was really the only thing that happened there. And at this rate, it's looking like Team Nectar are going to make another comeback here, so let's just see what ends up happening. Going to be a Boomer with the Hunter and Charger, and in 3 seconds it will be the next spawn, of which is a Smoker. Hunter is pouncing around behind and below the survivors. Let's see how they pull off this tri-cap here, this Hunter, Charger, Smoker tri-cap. Smoker is spawned up above the survivors. Charger moving in as well, gets the connection onto Rochelle. Not much else to follow. That is going to be the clearance of the Charger, Hunter, and the Boomer. Smoker isn't shortly after, instead going to get the respawn. Ends up getting the respawn, and I have to say Smokers are very valuable in this particular choke point. Let's just see if they can pull off a Smoker similar to the one they just pulled off, you know, a few attacks ago. Hunter, Jockey, and a Smoker. Finished off with a Spitter, so they don't actually have a Charger here. I wonder how that's going to fare for them. Hunter is positioned behind the billboard. Jockey directly above the survivors. He's creating an absolute nuisance for the survivors right now with that noise.
Somebody turn off that alarm.
Survivors at 90% of the map so far. They have 10% more remaining, but, you know, easier said than done. Jockey looking to move in. Smoker and Jockey both separating a survivor each there. Hunter is looking for Ellis. Very well executed there, especially with the Hunter getting the guy behind. That is several bits of damage inflicted onto so many survivors there. Very well played attack, and that is exactly the kind of attacks they are looking for. Ellis is going to be reviving Rochelle here. Dropping down, getting dead stops and shut down, but he does delay the get-up animation for a little bit longer. We have a Charger and a Hunter with the Boomer, and in 10 seconds we're going to have the final spawn. Boomer from on top of the survivors gets a boom onto Coach, actually. That is going to slow them down a little bit more. Charger is looking like he's going to want to position above the survivors on the billboard here, just behind that little sign. Hunter is pouncing around as well to kind of slow down the survivors a little bit more. Smoker looking to separate Ellis here, doesn't quite manage it though. Very nicely cleared. Charger is going to land onto a survivor, however the Spitter couldn't land onto the same survivor. And also Hunter was actually skeeted in 8 shots there, so that was decent. Safe room isn't really too far away though, and the survivors are, well, they're looking like they are going to make it here and possibly even take the lead back. Let's just see how this attack goes though. Boomer first, getting shut down. 6 damage pounce being inflicted. Smoker actually ends up getting the kill onto Coach right outside the safe room. Ooh, that is devastating. That is devastating. Survivors do end up making it into the safe room, and they do make the comeback, but just barely. 2,346 points. And, I mean, they're now ahead again. Team Nectar have taken the lead back once again. Team Hap now behind, but not by very much. 2,315 points. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, you have tuned into a very good match here. This is so close. I'm really enjoying myself here, and I really don't know who's going to win this. So, you know, it all comes down to this. This is a very good game, and I'm so happy that I've been honored enough to commentate this, because this is great. Team Nectar versus Hap. Really could be anybody's game here. As a little bit of curiosity, who is everybody supporting here? Let me know which team you're supporting, because honestly, like, I don't really have a team in particular, but you know, I just can't tell who is going to win this. So let me know who you're supporting in the chat. And we shall be not going live. Excuse me, I'm just kidding. We just fixing the clan tags there, and now we will be going live. Going to be dealing with a Charger Hunter Smoker tri-cap with the Boomer. Boomer goes in first, gets a boom onto one survivor, however they are in the safe room, so it's not going to trouble them too much. And that spawn is more than likely going to be a Spitter as well, rather than a quad cap. So essentially they're just swapping the Spitter for the Boomer for a Spitter. Survivors now moving out though, they know that spawn is down. Survivors are going to be under attack here. Charger moving in, can't make the connection though. Hunter is going to land briefly onto Nick. And there is the Spitter that we talked about. However, Spitter is not really able to synchronize with the team and will be falling. Tank is going to be spawning as well. It's an early tank, and considering the point difference here, that could go either way, really. Boomer can't quite land the boom, though. That's not a good start for Team Hap, and that dumpster just went somewhere I didn't even see. Just flew all over the place. Tank looking for the first dumpster. That's a good hit, actually. That's straight into play. Going to be getting the second dumpster into play shortly. And Smash just, I believe, letting the tank know where the dumpster is there. So there we have it. He has 2 dumpsters in play. On pass number 1, 20%, and it's going to continue declining as well. He probably has to go in here. And he has a jockey, smoker, and a hunter to go in with. Smoker is going to be crucial, actually, to be honest, with this particular tank fight. If the smoker can set something up in terms of the dumpsters. Tank is moving in. First punch landed onto Ellis, and the smoker's going to land onto him as well. That's very well played. He's going to be in-capped by the bumper car there. So well played. That could even be a death here, ladies and gentlemen. He is working those bumper cars. One more hit, and that is going to be the death of Ellis. Oh my goodness, that is so well played. That smoker positioning was phenomenal. Very smart gameplay there. Phenomenally intelligent gameplay by Team Hap there to catch him off guard. And the tank is only on 2,566 points. He hasn't really been chipped by much. So Team Hap looking in a pretty good position here. In moves the Boomer. They don't know it's there. That's going to be a boom onto one survivor, excuse me. Charger is moving in with the Smoker. He's going to steal the Smoker target. Coach is being chased by the tank here. Smoker is going to be positioning himself very nicely there. That's a dual cap. Rock just barely misses Coach, so that allows him to clear. However, Rochelle is in very bad health, and the dumpsters are right there as well. He is on low HP, mind you, 55 HP. Going to be curve rocking round, and, well, that's going to be the clearance of that. Jockey is going to land onto Coach. More than likely, they will be able to revive Rochelle here. However, poor Ellis, aka Jensen, getting caught inside that little bumper car area. So they only have 3 survivors to use now. Team Nectar going to be the spit delay. Nice one-shot skeet by Deciday, though. He's gotten about 3 or 4 skeets this game, and he's going to shut down the Boomer just for good measure. So well played by Deciday there.
Over here.
Only a charger to speak of so far. In 5 seconds we will have the special infected attack completed. Charger is above the survivors. However, he chooses against going in because he wants to wait for the remainder of his attack, of which is actually a quad cap, and which is, you know, against 3 survivors, and in it moves. Charger's going to land, Smoker's going to land, Hunter is going to land. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. They have successfully wiped Team Nectar here inside. Very, very well played. That is some great special infected gameplay coming out of Team Hap here. They really don't want to lose this. They absolutely do not want to lose this. And you can really see by the gameplay coming out here, this is intense. Like, I'm actually getting chills here, to be honest. So, it is now time for Team Hap to prove what they're made of. Can they make the comeback, or will they be wiped? Gonna have to find out here in the final half of the final chapter. And they're not really wasting much time either. 7 out of 8 people are all readied up already. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going live in the last half. No, we're not actually. I lied. We are pausing for some reason. Nonetheless, we will be shortly going live in the final half of the final chapter of Dark Carnival. Definitely one of the closest games I've ever been involved in, so very, very good to be involved in it. So intense. I really don't know who's going to win this, really. They will be dealing with a charger, with the smoker, with the boomer, so on and so forth. So They're going to be dealing with a fairly good attack here, but let's just see how they deal with it. And we shall be going live, ladies and gentlemen, in the last half of chapter number 4. It is all going to be decided with this final half here. Boomer actually, I can see that South American teams quite like that tactic, sending the Boomer there and vomiting through that little slit in the wall. However, it wasn't successful. There is going to be a Charger, Smoker, and a Hunter. Smoker moves in first, he can't quite make the connection. Charger gets a very nice charge actually in the distance. That's going to be a pummel onto Rochelle. That's going to be a Hunter onto Ellis, and a Smoke onto Coach, who is also going to take some spit damage as well. Onwards and upwards for the survivors. They took some damage, but it's not too concerning. However, the most concerning thing really is surviving this tank. Boomer and a Jockey, followed by Charger and Hunter. However, the Boomer is shut down there very efficiently. Charger actually gets a separation charge. He's going to get a pummel as well. Could even be a tri-cap. Not quite a tri-cap, however, some very significant damage being inflicted onto Team Hap here, who are actually, hoping for the comeback here, so they're going to need to limit this damage as much as they can. Tank is looking to move this dumpster in. First hit is somewhat successful. I mean, it is a little bit far away. Yeah, I'd say that's probably not very successful, to be honest. That's probably not really in play. Boomer, Smoker, and a Charger. Smoker is going to move in first and foremost. They can't quite land the rock off the back of the distraction, though. Tank just positioned very patiently above the survivors. He needs to make this count, of course, because, if they survive it. Boom! I mean, that's a good result, though. They have shut down the Boomer, so that's going to be a very good result for them. Tank on pass number 2, this Jensen tank. Let's see what it can make happen with the Jockey and the Charger. More than likely going to be a Hunter, I would imagine. Well, Hunter or Smoker, but I imagine a Hunter. Which it is indeed a Hunter. Tank is on 25% of pass number 2. Gonna have to move in here, has no real choice in the matter. Tank looking to try to go for Ellis here. Trying to get a punch onto him. Can't really make any hittables happen, so it's all down to the tri-cap. Charger is going to be helping the Jockey there. Hunter landing, Charger landing. Oh my goodness. They are going to clear the Hunter. However, there is a Charger just pummeling the hell out of Nick there. That's going to be an in-cap onto Coach as well. So that's going to be 3 people in-capped here at this rate. And Ellis is the last remaining survivor. However, it's not 3 people in-capped. It is actually only 2. Well, I say only 2. It's not really only. But my goodness, it is anybody's game still. 1,436 points, health points, on the tank. Tank is going to be looking to delay the survivors. Smoker moves in. Hunt is going to try to pin Rochelle here. Can't quite get it. Hunter is looking for the interception. Ends up going on to Nick instead. Could even get the kill here at this rate. Very nice interception by the tank. Going to be looking to pin the remaining survivors. Double punch is out. Oh my goodness. He's going to be looking to secure the deal here. And he's going to in-cap. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our victorious team here. Wow. What a game. What a game. Absolutely phenomenal. Although, yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I hope they continue this game. They better. Yeah, good. Okay, so we are actually going on to the finale. That is good. Marvelous. So we're not over just yet. But my goodness, how many comebacks are these guys going to put at us before they decide who the winner is? Unbelievable. So we actually have the finale, ladies and gentlemen. That is incredible. I'm even more excited now. So here we have it. We have the finale being played. I'm so happy about that. That is brilliant. My goodness. So, yeah, I mean, Nectar have taken the lead back again for what, the 3rd time or something? Unbelievable. What a game. So now we have 2,553 points in the hands of the currently in the lead, Team Nectar, versus Team Hap. which is going to be on 2,409 points. Unbelievable. So happy that that we're going to be experiencing this. We are going to restart the chapter for the in order to try to make the spec card work. Enemy team won. No, that is not true. That is not what happened. Unbelievable. I couldn't imagine the pressure that these guys are under as well, because can you imagine the pressure these guys are under? I mean, both of them respectively, just phenomenal. And yeah, imagining, yeah, exactly. A lot of imagining. Then again, we won't have to imagine for much longer, because it is eventually going to be decided who wins this, unless in some bizarre circumstance it ends up being a tie, which, you know, that is something I've never really seen before, but, you know, it is technically possible. And we shall be going live in chapter number 5, ladies and gentlemen. Spitter, Charger, Jockey, and a Smoker is going to be what they have to contend with outside. Ellis moves out first to try to get rid of any spawns there. However, not much happens. Looking like they are going to pause here because they're just configuring some thingy mabobs. But yeah, I mean, I have to say, generally speaking, it is the European scene that doesn't really like finales generally. I couldn't really tell you actually what the rest of the world is really doing, but I do know that North America at one point did play finales as a default thing. So whether or not that's still a thing, I couldn't really tell you, but definitely seems to be a thing in South American tournaments though, which is absolutely wonderful. It's just magnificent, stupendous. And we have unpaused here, so looking like we will be going live pretty soon. Coach is just yelling his head off about Virgil. Right, so the victor is going to be decided. Spitter is going to be eliminating that life. Survivors making their way outside of the safe room here. This is a pretty ruthless crescendo, and not to mention, you know, there is a tank as well, so before they actually get to triggering the crescendo, they do actually have a tank to deal with before they get out, not to mention dumpsters, which are coming in now. Smoker's tongue is eventually cut there, and he will be losing his life. Charger and the Jockey is the supporting setup for the tank here. He is moving the dumpster in, and, well, let's just see what he can make happen here. Continuing to throw some curve rocks from round the corner there. Going to be completed with a boomer, actually. That boomer could be ruthless if he does end up landing. Let's just see if he does, though, because, you know, it's easier said than done. Going to be a smash 3-2-2. Tank. Moving in the dumpster, it's not playing ball so far, but he is going to keep trying with it. Survivors are going to be moving into the toilets. However, there's going to be a stumble onto Coach, followed by several punches. He's trying to punch him outside. He does get caught in the ceiling instead, though. And the tank is spreading the damage like wildfire here. Going to be landing a missed punch, actually, unfortunately. He's going to be continuing to punch Rochelle there, and he's going to continue with the dumpster. 937 HP. 2 survivors, not quite in-capped, but definitely with the need to take pain pills. Smoker moving in for the survivors, just simply to be a nuisance. Survivors just chilling at this present moment. Tank is going to be moving in here. landing a punch onto Rochelle as well as the Charger, actually. However, Tank is going to fall to the survivors. So they are now reduced to essentially 2 people being on temporary HP and 2 people being on permanent HP. Seems like he's a little bit annoyed at his support there. It didn't go too badly, mind you, though. It wasn't the worst in the world. Boomer goes in, gets a boom onto 1 survivor from the front there. Continuing to bleed out the survivors, which is obviously going to be beneficial to them. Just clearing the rest of the common infected before they continue to move outward. Jockey, Smoker, and a Charger is the tricap. Smoker moving in with the Jockey. Charger moves in as well, but he is shut down mid-path. There's not really much for him to do there. Both of these survivors haven't actually been in-capped yet, and I presume they're not going to take their pain pills here. And obviously they also have spare sets of pain pills as well, since this is a finale. Smoker spawning up. Double boom is actually successful. That's going to be a good result for them. Charger is cut down so quickly though. Smoker is landing onto Ellis temporarily. Some damage being inflicted, but not too much. And now it's simply a case of the special infected needing to wipe the survivors. Simply because the points are going to continue to travel upward until they die, or until they essentially can't go up anymore and they end up winning the finale. So Boomer goes in first, but does end up getting shut down. That's going to be a Jockey, Charger, Spitter moving in. Jockey first, Charger second. Charger is shut down so efficiently though, as is the Jockey, and the Spitter therefore can't do a heck of a lot. And Coach is still going on about Virgil, apparently. So we have a Hunter to speak of, not much else. The remainder is going to be coming up now. Hunter is pouncing around to be a nuisance. There is a Hunter, Smoker, and a Charger as the tricap. Boomer goes in first, gets a boom onto 1 survivor. Hunter is pouncing around for distraction. Smoker moves in as well as the Hunter. Charger is actually going to land onto Nick, but not for too long. He will be cleared very quickly. Going to be having to wait a total of 10 seconds for the remainder of the spawns. So far we do have a Jockey.
Rock and roll!
Jockey, Smoker with the Spitter and the Boomer. Boomer first, does end up getting shut down this time though. So there's no real Boomer to speak of. There's going to be a Spitter moving in. Jockey is going to keep nicking the Spit there. Well, he tries to, he couldn't quite do it. That's going to be a Smoker onto Coach as well. He does take some more damage. However, their permanent HP is still maintained. Going to be clearing the common infected off of Rochelle there. She has now been in-capped. She more than likely, yes indeed, is going to be taking her pills. Going to be a Boomer and Spitter again with a Hunter and Charger. Hunter is spawned up looking ready. Boomer again gets shut down though. Charger is going to be going off of the Hunter. That's going to be an in-cap onto Coach. Charger is going to try the separation, but he does get shut down just as he lands there, 0.1 seconds after. So far, to be honest, the Boomers aren't really landing, which it is easier said than done when you send a Boomer in first. You definitely need to make sure that that you've got the right position, you know. Jockey and a Smoker with again a 2-2. Boomer and Spitter with the Jockey and Smoker. Tank is now going to be spawning, the first of many really. Smoker is moving in as well. Tank is going to be repositioning, however he will be chased by the survivors, which is a good thing to do, to be honest. They are going to successfully get 500 damage roughly. Tank's just trying to maintain line of sight here in the distance. He is going to be looking to get the reposition. Boomer gets a boom onto one survivor. That could open up some opportunities. Charger is moving in for Ellis here. Doesn't quite make the connection though. Tank is looking for the dumpster. He chooses against it and is going to reposition to the rooftop above the survivors. Survivors looking to reposition directly below the tank actually, so he can't really get line of sight no matter what he does. Rock is unsuccessful onto Ellis, and well, they have 2 sets of pain pills and 2 people are going to need them. Boomer first. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't end up landing though. He is going to be shot down there. Tank is continuing to throw some rocks, can't land any just yet though. And he is on pass number 2 as well, so he is going to need to go in pretty soon. In moves the tank. Going to be moving in. There's going to be a smoker setting up some punches onto Ellis here. And indeed he does just that. Ellis is going to go down here after one final punch, and Tank is going to reposition onto the high ground. Hunter gets an 11 damage pounce. Tank is going to try to land the rock onto Nick there. Ends up going onto Rochelle instead. That is some good damage, actually. That is the advantage of the underhand rock throw, because it does actually leave your arms a little bit faster than the other 2. Boomer from below onto one survivor. Tank is now moving in, looking for some punches. Charger is just about successful, very luckily though. Ends up going onto Rochelle. She is separated and being pummeled by the Charger, however the tank is going to fall. And survivor's not looking in great health here. In moves the helicopter. And they're going to be looking to get the heck in it. Spitter is trying to delay them, but can't quite do so. Survivors are just barely away from it, and they do make it into the helicopter, ladies and gentlemen, and they do actually secure themselves in it. Now, that does make Team Hap's job a little bit more difficult, really. Definitely still possible. It's not by any means lost. You know, that's definitely not what I'm saying, but they do have a little bit more of a difficult task on their hands now.
Okay, here's the plan. First we do a quick check around for corn dogs. Nah, I'm just playing.
Going to be a tank in the hands of Deciday. Spitter jockey, Charger and a Smoker. Charger getting 2 scratches onto Rochelle. Smoker can't make much happen though. And, well, Smoker is going to meet his demise, and Jockey didn't really make a lot happen at all. There is going to be some delay from the Spitter. However, that's not going to amount to too much. Tank is now going to be spawning in the hands of Deciday, who's looking to move in the dumpster. And in it moves. Let's just see how much success he can have with it. Hunter is moving in for the survivors, just simply to get rid of the spawn, more than anything else. Tank is looking to be making his way in slowly but surely. For the time being, just simply maintaining line of sight and throwing some rocks. Jockey, Boomer, and a Charger is what Special Infected have to work with. Let's see if they can make much happen with it, though. In moves the tank. There is a boom onto one survivor, and in he moves. Going to be hoping for some double punches. He does indeed get the first double punch, however, survivors are separating now. He's going to be landing several punches onto many different survivors. Jockey and Charger landing at the exact same time, and Rochelle is struggling to clear her friend there, and the tank is keeping them all inside. This could even be it for the survivors. Missing a few punches, however, he's on 1000 HP. He's going to be continuing the reign of terror onto Rochelle, and that's looking like the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed the end of the game. My goodness, Team Hap do end up falling to Team Nectar there. They do end up winning the game in one of the closest games I have ever seen. Whew, there we have it. We have some time to breathe now. That was a very intense game, and apparently my team won, so that's very good to know. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Nectar are your victors.